Hey, what do it, y'all? Swish Entertainment putting y'all tuned to all y'all favorite rapper and celebrity content. But first, I need a little favor from y'all. First, please like, comment, subscribe to the video, hit that notification bell as well. That'd be a great service to the channel and put y'all tuned to the story. Now, today we got some saddening news. This man, Youngboy, has once again been locked up. This man's in the Utah area and he was currently under house arrest. So this man has managed to find himself in trouble once again. This man has been involved in a drug operation that has been under investigation since last year of September. Youngboy has allegedly been committing fraudulent acts in order to gain access to a drug. This man will end up calling into the Cache County Sheriff's Office under a fake identity. He will make calls to the Sheriff's Office under a fake identity to gain access to the prescription drugs. This man will make requests for them and he will have his people pull up to collect it. Specifically, the drug that Youngboy and his crew was trying to obtain was the promethazine codeine, or lean to be exact. The Cache County Sheriff's Office had ended up labeling Youngboy as a suspect linked to the investigation of a prescription fraud. Multiple individuals, including Youngboy, are facing accusations of trying to gain access to fake or fraudulent prescriptions while identifying as legitimate doctors. So the identities that ended up being given were not fake, but they of course were under the usage of somebody that is not truly them. Fraudulent patient names and birthdays were also under the usage by individuals within this group. After the orders had been made for the promethazine codeine prescriptions, people will end up pulling up to the pharmacies to collect them. One source is stating that in the month of September in 2023, the rapper known as Youngboy had made a call for a prescription for a 74-year-old lady. The prescription order will end up being directed towards a pharmacy located in Hiram. Youngboy is being stated to have acted under the role of a physician. Not only that, but this man was also able to provide an actual, valid DEA number, MPI number, and other identification for the real physician. During one of the phone calls between Youngboy and the pharmacist had ended up taking notice that the phone number that was provided did not align with the number of the doctor's clinic that ended up being stated. So because his discovery had ended up becoming something of notice, the Sheriff's County office had ended up calling the director directly in order to gain confirmation as to whether the call being made held authenticity or not. Not only that, but Youngboy and his camp's involvement with this scheme had another slip up. The women that had pulled up to the pharmacies to collect the prescriptions had pulled up in vehicles that were registered to Youngboy's name. Once Youngboy had ended up being apprehended, he denied any involvement with this drug prescription scheme. So following that, the police ended up conducting a search of this man's house and ended up raiding the entire residence. They ended up finding a prescription linked to the fake name that was provided in the calls that Youngboy had orchestrated. Youngboy had called the sheriff's office under the fake name known as Gwendolyn Cox. The purpose of the call seemed to be to ask why fake prescriptions hadn't been filled. The deputy that had answered the call ended up becoming suspicious because of the caller's southern accent. The deputy had also ended up taking notice of this person's pronunciation of the word ask. Instead of saying the word ask, they would instead say ax. The caller that was trying to make the fraudulent order had also failed to provide an age and a local address, but they were able to provide a birth month and date. The deputy can be quoted as saying it was very clear that a fake voice was being used. They would also provide more details around the call, saying that medical terminology was off, and they had also stated that they weren't used to being called by doctors but instead nurses consistently. So following Youngboy being taken into custody for these crimes, this man will be taken back to his hometown in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He is expected to serve the rest of his time under confinement until he is sentenced. It is being said that Youngboy was trying to impersonate the voice of a female doctor. The sheriff, when questioned about the incident, has stated that it sounded more like a southern male. Youngboy can be quoted as saying during the call, "Well, I asked her to, and she said that she'll have you call me." This statement was made in response to a request that would have the doctor known as Gwendolyn contact dispatch and have them transfer her call back through. Obviously, as I previously stated, Gwendolyn is the fake name that Youngboy had used to falsely identify himself in the call. The sheriff can be quoted as saying, "I have lived in the southern United States. The terminology in replacing the word ass with ax or other variations is consistent with the southern dialect in states such as Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, and other southern states." The investigator that looked deeply into this call has also made the assumption that Kentrell Gardner had made a statement believing that he was on mute. The investigator said this statement was made without asking a related question. Asked him about the prescription that they picked up. So in totality, as I had already said, Youngboy is currently facing 63 charges altogether. The charges that Youngboy is currently facing consist of 20 counts of identity fraud, 20 counts of forgery, 20 counts of obtaining a prescription under false pretenses, and in addition, 1 count each of possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person, possession of a controlled substance, and engaging in a pattern of unlawful activity. But yeah, y'all, this go wrap up the video. Let me know what y'all think is in the comments. Are you guys surprised to see this man Youngboy had managed to get himself into this much trouble while under house arrest? What do you guys think of the report stating that Youngboy will be removed from the Utah area to be returned to his hometown in Baton Rouge, Louisiana? And to cap that off, how harsh do you think the punishment will be that Youngboy ends up facing? What type of sentence do you guys think that this man will face since he is being held without bail? Let all that be known in the comments, y'all. That's gonna do it. I'm out.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.